Hey, everybody, welcome back to Swing Batter. I am your host, Brendan. I am joined by Todd and my father, and we are here to discuss terrible, wonderful, glorious contracts. And on store today, Dad, who do you got for us?
Well, this was kind of an easy one for me. We're going to go with a great third baseman for the San Francisco Giants named Pablo Sandoval.
World Series champion.
MVP.
The MVP, the best player in the World Series. Dad, how did this start? What do we got? How did he get here?
Well, we decided to go with the San Francisco Giants third baseman Pablo Sandoval. In the good old days, Pablo Sandoval, at the ripe old age of 26, was their third baseman playing in the World Series. And in Game 1, he hit 3 home runs in one game. This was in the series of 2012. He was named MVP. The Giants won the World Series. And he was the hero of the city of San Francisco. The team had a lot of good players, obviously, but Pablo was the guy. So that's who I want to talk about.
All right, Pablo Sandoval it is, and let's roll into the World Series MVP. Leading up to the contract, what was the big moment for Pablo to get this huge, huge contract?
Well, basically it was free agency. The first 3 seasons with the Giants, Pablo made, he never made more than $500,000. But then in years 4, 5, and 6, the Giants kept cranking it up. $3.2 million, $5.7 million, $8.25 million, and then he became a free agent. And that's when the horse came in for Pablo.
You can say that again. What was the big deal? Who were the suitors for such a great talent?
I don't have all the teams. There was quite a bidding war. A lot of teams wanted him. But the Boston Red Sox won the bidding, and they signed him to a 5-year, $95 million contract. And think about this. If he would have stayed at the $8 million a year, 8 times 5, what's that, $40 million?
Mm-hmm.
He got $95 million. So basically double his pay of his highest year ever, guaranteed for 5 years. Wow, that's hitting the jackpot.
The environment that led to this, though, was that, and pun is intended here, the market for third baseman in that offseason was really thin.
But Pablo wasn't.
From the top rope comes Todd. So it was a thin market for third base free agents. You had the Red Sox, who were desperate to do something, to rebound, to come back and to say, hey, listen, we have to show that we can do something here. He's a switch hitter. He's a 3-time winner. His defense at third base was not horrible.
Nope.
Not horrible. And hey, listen, we had to recover from our Carl Crawford contract.
Yep.
So what do you do? What do you do when you're playing poker and you've already shown that you got a garbage hand? You bet more, because there's nothing that says winner like going all in with the chips, which is what the Red Sox did with this contract. We're going to go 5 years. We're going to only sign him till he's 33. Do you want to hear some of the optional riders, as they say, on this thing? This is where he could have made some money, right? So in 2020, at 33 years old, the club could buy him out for $5 million. So we'll add another $5 million on the top of that. If he was an all-star or earned a silver slugger, he would get $50,000 as a bonus. If he had a gold glove at third base, another $550,000. If he was a league championship series MVP, $50,000. If he was the World Series MVP, $100,000. If he was the MVP of baseball, first MVP, $100,000, second place in voting, $75,000, third place in voting, $50,000. And he had a limited no trade clause where he could block 3 teams of his choosing from going to those teams. So those are some of the riders that were put on this thing. Just kind of sauce it up a little bit. Hey, we want you to achieve.
That's not sauce. That wasn't even ketchup for his hot dog evening. That's not even worthwhile. He got 5 years, $95 million, and you're saying $50,000 with a little sauce? He's never made over 8.
His yearly cash was $17,600. He could have bumped it to $18 or $19 if he decided to perform, but I don't know. If I'm making $17,600 and I really have to stop getting room service and try harder just for an extra $50,000,
I think he made $50,000 on room service for the per diem in baseball.
Basically, for those people who don't know, Pablo Sandoval literally ate his way out of baseball. After he signed he was always a big guy, but he hit the ball far. But after he signed, eventually his weight got to 300 pounds. And
that's what we know.
That's true.
That's what they documented. They documented 300 pounds. In all likelihood, he was what, 330?
Just look at the results. Year 1 with Boston, he only played in 126 games. This is the guy they signed to be their offensive leader. He batted a career low of .245 with a whopping 10 home runs and 47 RBIs.
And you're saying this player had 3 in one World Series game.
Yeah, he got 10 for the whole season. Now, the next year, you figure he's going to come back, right? He had a bad first season. He's going to buckle down. Well, buckle's a good word. He loosened the buckle because he kept eating. In 2016, he went on a disabled list with a strained shoulder. May 3rd, he had a surgery on the shoulder. And when the season ended, Pablo had batted 6 times for the whole season.
Killer.
That's an average of about $3 million per at-bat.
Yeah.
Dad, how did he do in those at-bats?
I don't know. He didn't bring him to the pennant.
His batting average was .000. It's like that scene in Animal House where they...
Mr. Blutowski, 0.0. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
So Pablo, they actually got Pablo out 6 consecutive times that year.
Yeah, they did.
Year 3, a lot of pressure on Pablo. He has to start justifying the contract. After 108 at-bats, he was batting .212. And he went on a disabled list with inner ear infection.
It's terrible.
By July 19th, the Red Sox released him and decided to eat the last 3 years of the contract.
So in all reality, they ate 4 years of the contracts, and the inner ear infection was really him getting heckled too much. Is that what I'm hearing?
The inner ear infection, isn't that like something 4-year-olds get? Like, what's the inner ear infection?
Well, what's the shoulder? He must have been...
Well, a torn labrum. Listen, as somebody who's experienced shoulder injuries in my own life from
shoveling the food into your mouth?
Lifting a kettlebell or two, I have to tell you that it's nothing to laugh at. But the ear infection, that astonishes me. Brendan, when we were kids, I think you ended up they had put tubes in your ears or something like that.
I never missed the baseball season.
That's true.
So listen to Pablo's results. $95 million. He played in a total of 161 games. He had a .234 batting average, and in the total, hit 14 home runs with 59 RBIs. $95 million for those results. It's really hard. We've done a lot of these contracts looking at people who are overpaid. It's really hard to find a team that got less for so much money than this one.
They didn't even get a full season.
Nope.
Like you couldn't, you'd have to prorate that out to get a 162 game average. You couldn't even sit there and say, well, what was a 162 game average for that contract? Because it just played 161 games.
Wild.
Was it?
Wild.
And to tell the story about what they had to do when they were staying in hotels to try to keep this guy from eating.
It was tragic. The Red Sox knew they had a problem. So, number one, I'm going to give some advice to everyone out there. Don't marry the rebound. When you're trying to rebound as a baseball team and you sign somebody like this to $95 million, and the very first thing you're getting phone calls about is that he's ordering too much room service. So you have to put someone outside the room to turn it back to the kitchen. Now, thankfully, they still paid the bill. But can you imagine fixing all the food? Then it comes right back without being touched at all. Good news is that still didn't help him achieve what they wanted.
But it didn't end. It didn't end. The Red Sox ate a retained $58 million and teams went back for more. They went back for more. They said, you want to know something? It's not over. We can still get something out of the Panda. The Braves signed this guy. They traded him to Cleveland, and as soon as he arrived in Cleveland, Cleveland sent him out the door. They're like, we don't even want you. Like, how bad is it that the team that trades for you instantly says, no, we were joking. No, thanks.
They couldn't imagine him after the game at the buffet eating half the team's food.
Half the team needed the buffet because they didn't pay half of them.
Oh, wow.
So to put a nice bow on Pablo and the Red Sox journey, no World Series championships for Boston. No beloved, no jersey ceremony for him. They certainly have signed heavy players like a David Ortiz, not the best shaped guy, but again, delivered. They were thinking they were going to
Mo Vaughn. Calling Mo Vaughn.
We'll be covering Mo Vaughn in further episodes, everybody.
Yeah.
And so when Boston wraps this up, $95 million that you just kind of brush off to the side, carry on your ways. And that is the beauty of this game we call baseball. Guaranteed contracts for past performances in the hopes that they deliver tomorrow. We have a lot more coming for you. That's Pablo Sandoval, one of the best, if not the brightest stories that I have of a man who won at life, but not in baseball. Not after the World Series championships with the beloved Giants that to this day still love him. I'm your host, Brendan. That's my father. That is Todd. And we'll see you next time.
Room service.